Trump's name is in the Epstein files? Yes or no?
Why don't you try spelling it out?
Yes
if you're gonna mock
or no,
me?
Director?
Use the alphabet.
Yes or no?
No? A, B, C,
Director,
D, E, F?
it sounds like you don't want to tell us. Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name was in the Epstein files?
Why don't you try serving your
Director,
constituency
did
by
you tell the
focusing on
Attorney
reducing
General
violent
that Donald
crime in this
Trump's
country and the number of pedophiles that are
Director,
illegally
reclaiming my
harbored in
time,
your
Director.
sanctuary cities in
Director,
California?
reclaiming
I'll
my
work with
time.
you on that. Do
Regular
you want
order,
to
Mr.
work with us
Chairman.
on that?
Director,
Time
reclaiming my
belongs to the
time.
gentleman from California.
Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files?
The question has been asked and answered.
You have not answered it, and we will take your evasiveness as a consciousness of guilt. Director, did Donald Trump ever say to you, just find and release the entire truth? Don't worry if I'm in it.
The instructions from the administration were to release all credible information, and we have done.
Gentleman from Kentucky is recognized for unanimous consent.
Mr. Chairman, I ask unanimous consent to submit two sets of documents. The first is a series of emails from the victims of Jeffrey Epstein. They are making FOIA requests to get their own FBI files and not having any success. So I want to bring attention to that by submitting that to the record. The second document that I want to submit to the record, for the record, I know we don't usually read these. This one's not readable. It's completely redacted for the most part, the first 50 pages. This is actually the search warrant that was served on James O'Keefe for a diary that he had already given to the government 2 months before. And as it turns out, there were no indictments here, yet he still doesn't know why he was raided, and I think he deserves to know. So,
Without objection.
thank you.
The chair now recognizes the gentleman from California.
Director, the first time you saw Donald Trump's name was in the Epstein files. Did you close the files or keep reading?
I have reviewed not the entirety of the files, so I have.
You haven't reviewed all of the Epstein files?
Personally, no.
You're the director of the FBI. This is the largest sex trafficking case the FBI has ever been a part of. Buck stops at the top, and your testimony today is you have not reviewed all of the files.
What I've been doing is been busy providing the safest country this country has seen in modern U.S. history in historic speed, because the men and women of the FBI are given the resources to reduce the homicide rate, to reduce the drug trafficking rate, to reduce the amount of children that are being trafficked, and the number of pedophiles.
It sounds like those children being trafficked would appreciate the director reviewing the files. You said you don't know the number of times Trump's name appears in the files, so it could at least be 1,000 times. Is that right?
The number is a total misleading factor. We have not
the
released
number at least
anyone's
be 1,000
name
times?
that we have not released anyone's
Could it
name in
at
the
least
Epstein
be
files
1,000
that
times?
has not been credible.
Director,
And
could it at
we have
least be 1,000
released
times?
every piece of legally permissible information.
Okay,
you can
so-
characterize the numbers however you want it.
Reclaiming my time, Director. It sounds like if you don't know the number, it could at least be 1,000 times. Which
It's not.
leads me-
It's not.
Is it at least 500 times?
No.
Is it at least 100 times?
No.
Then what's the number?
I don't know the number, but it's not that.
Do you think it might be your job to know the number?
My job is to provide for the safety and security of this country. My job is not to engage in political
And that
innuendo
includes protecting
so you can go
sexual
out to the
assault
sticks
victims.
and get your 20-second hit in your fundraising
reclaiming my
article.
time,
They
Director.
keep going, reclaiming your time, because the
Director,
people of California
If
are
Trump-
being
if the
underserved by
president-
your
If the
representation.
president is not implicated, why not release everything that involves him?
We have released everything, the president and anyone else's side, that is credible and lawfully be able to be released. Your fixation on this matter and baseless accusations that I'm hiding
also
child
Mr. Mass's
pedophiles is disgusting.
interest.
Anyone that says that needs to look at the stats alone. And go back to the state of California, who's receiving the biggest surge in
So,
FBI resources through
Director-
my redeployment, because the cities of Los Angeles, San Diego, and San
Reclaiming
Francisco
my time,
need it.
Director. Remembering your oath to tell the truth, did you ever tell Donald Trump his name is in the files?
I have never spoken to President Trump about the Epstein files.
Did you ever tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files?
The Attorney General and I have had numerous discussions about the entirety of the Epstein files and the reviews conducted by our team.
Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files?
And we have released where President Trump's name is in
It's
the
a simple
attorney's
question.
file.
Did you tell the Attorney General that the President's name is in the Epstein files?
During many conversations that the Attorney General and I have had on the matter of Epstein, we have reviewed
The question is
painstakingly
simple.
who
Did you
can
tell
be
the Attorney General that Donald Trump...
on that.
Did Donald Trump ever provide information about Jeffrey Epstein as an informant?
Donald Trump has not been, and I can only speak for the FBI, an informant of the FBI.
So, Director, you've played this cute shell game where you say you can't release everything because the court has said that it legally is not allowed to be released, but the court calls bullshit. Judge Richard Berman said that when you went to the court, quote, information contained in the Epstein grand jury transcripts pales in comparison to Epstein investigation information and materials in the hands of the Department of Justice. So let's move on, Director. You wrote a book called Government Gangsters. You identified 20 individuals in that book. You put me on that list, at the top of the list. Thank you. My children find it flattering. 20 of those individuals have been investigated or have had adverse actions. Director, considering that you have identified these people as, quote, government gangsters, will you recuse yourself from making any investigation decisions about these individuals?
Anyone that has been terminated at the FBI has been done so
the
because
question
they failed
again,
to meet the muster in
Director,
their constitutional
I will
obligation.
work on the
No.
audio-visual capabilities.
I'm
of
going to
this room, so I
borrow
don't think
your
you can hear me.
terminology and call
I'm reclaiming
bullshit
my
on your
time.
entire career.
As the final gavel echoes across the marble walls of the hearing room, the tension lingers, like smoke after a fire. Moments ago, the air crackled with accusation and defiance. Congressman Eric Swalwell's voice cutting through the chamber, demanding answers about the Epstein files, the names within them, and whether the former president's name had ever been spoken aloud behind closed federal doors. Across from him, the FBI director, firm, defensive, almost trembling with the burden of institutional armor, refused to yield. His words were measured, mechanical, shaped by years of testimony, but his tone betrayed a deeper struggle. A war between loyalty to the Bureau and the shadow of the truth it still holds. This was not merely an argument about documents or numbers. It was an unmasking, a glimpse into how the machinery of power grinds under the weight of secrets. Swalwell's relentless questioning struck at the heart of public faith, the belief that justice is blind, that no name, however gilded by fame or fortune, is too powerful to escape accountability. Yet as the director's responses circled in bureaucratic smoke, the illusion cracked. For a moment, Americans watching could see the wires behind the curtain, how truth in Washington is often redacted not with black ink, but with silence. When the congressman asked, "Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files?" It wasn't just a procedural question, it was a moral one. It was the sound of the people's representative asking whether the system still serves the people at all. And when the director deflected, evaded, and finally snapped back with a political jab, accusing Swalwell of seeking fundraising clips, it exposed something darker. That even in the pursuit of truth, the guardians of justice now speak in the language of politics. That the line between public service and personal survival has blurred so deeply, it's almost invisible. This hearing wasn't about partisanship. It was about power, how it's used, how it's protected, and how it's feared. The mention of Epstein's victims, their pleas for access to their own FBI files, their words swallowed by redactions, reminded everyone that behind these political skirmishes lie real people, voices that never make it to the record, faces hidden behind case numbers and sealed exhibits. They are the ghosts of an investigation that still haunts the nation, proof that the powerful can outlast justice and that bureaucracy can outweigh outrage. When the director said, "My job is not to engage in political innuendo," the irony was sharp enough to cut glass, because in that room, surrounded by lawmakers and cameras, every sentence was political. Every pause, every deflection, every refusal to answer became a declaration of the balance between truth and control. The congressman pressed again and again, his frustration rising not just from the evasion, but from the realization that accountability in America now requires confrontation, that even the word truth has become partisan territory. And then came the eruption, the director turning his defense into offense, accusing Swalwell of being a disgrace, his tone no longer bureaucratic, but personal. For a moment, the chamber descended into chaos. The boundaries of decorum collapsed. The thin veneer of professionalism that Congress so desperately clings to was ripped away, revealing the raw nerve beneath, a government at war with itself. But amid the shouting, amid the calls for order and the snapping gavels, something profound emerged. A question that now hangs over the entire American system like a storm cloud. If justice itself has to shout to be heard, who's really listening? This hearing, like so many before it, will fade from the news cycle. It will be clipped, edited, reshared, turned into content. But history will remember it differently. not as a partisan spat, but as a snapshot of an empire wrestling with its conscience. A reminder that when those sworn to serve the truth refuse to speak it plainly, the silence becomes its own indictment. The American experiment has always depended on transparency, on the fragile idea that power must answer to the people. Yet today, even as evidence piles high and questions multiply, those at the top retreat behind procedure, behind ongoing investigations, behind the safe walls of lawful release. And the victims, those whose lives were torn apart by Epstein and his network of enablers, are still waiting for justice, still filing FOIA requests for their own stories, still being told that the pages are redacted for their protection. In the end, this hearing was never just about Donald Trump or the Epstein files. It was about the moral gravity of leadership, what it means to tell the truth when the truth is dangerous. It was about the men and women sworn to defend the Constitution, choosing between their careers and their conscience. And it was about us, the citizens watching, disillusioned, but still demanding to know. Because democracy does not die in darkness. It dies in deflection. It dies when accountability becomes a performance. It dies when the powerful forget that the rule of law is not a suggestion, it's a promise. As the lights dim in the hearing room and the cameras power down, the echoes remain. Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files? A question unanswered, a truth deferred, a system tested once again. In the halls of Congress, silence can be louder than confession. And sometimes the refusal to speak is the most revealing testimony of all. This is the Congress Chronicle, where power meets its reckoning. Subscribe to the Capitol Watch and help us keep the light on.